Hey guys, Jeff, Digital Gate Studios. Today I got Jesse in the studio with me.
We're here.
We are, and we want to talk about, well, I want to talk about, I'm being selfish here. I want everyone to take a trip down nostalgia lane with me, you know, when BT1 Metal Garurumon came out. Such a fun level 6, being able to spawn a bunch of bodies. You know what's crazy about this game right now? We have X antibodies now. We have an X antibody Garurumon, aka another level 4, that can be played out with this particular Metal Garurumon. So I kind of think of this deck as, you know, obviously it plays Metal Garurumon X. It does have a lot of the same strengths that that deck particularly has, but this is kind of more geared towards the combo of being able to spawn out a lot of bodies, being able to chimera into them when you need to. It's almost like a Metal Garurumon X toolbox type of deck. You know, I just wanted to share an alternative take on this deck. So
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Definitely looking forward to sharing this with you for sure.
All right, I want to see it.
All right, so let's start with some eggs. So I'm just gonna leave this out actually because this is the boss of the deck, right? This is what inspired me to make this deck. Back in 1.0, when the game first started coming out, I've been playing that long. Now I feel old saying that. I was a Red Omni fan as far as like the competitive scene goes, right? I prefer Gaia Force, right? And I prefer you know, the not checking options of that particular War Gray, right? But this was always like a fun deck where I almost had more fun playing this where you could spawn out bodies, you know, especially with the classic combo of spawning out the level 4 Garurumon from BT1 to unsuspend a Digimon. Doesn't say unsuspend blue, doesn't say unsuspend Metal Garurumon, doesn't say unsuspend the body that it came out from the sources, right? It says just on play, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Tons of versatility, especially in this deck. You can actually pair it, and I did this a bunch at our locals tonight, with this particular Metal Garurumon X, because whenever he becomes suspended, he bounces a body back to field. So if you get this set up, you can hard play this for 6. You know, with the memory setter, and they have a memory setter, you're not giving them any extra to unsuspend and bounce. So there's a whole lot of versatility, a good toolbox, a lot of strength in this deck in particular.
All right, start with the eggs.
So let's dive into this. We're going to leave this out because I want to point out a couple things. He's weak. 11K is weak. Even back in BT1, 11K was weak. So now we have ways to make his DP stronger. We have a fun level 2, the Sunomon. So not only are we keeping it tribal, we are benefiting the deck as well. If this one says, your turn, while your Garurumon or Omnimon, gain plus 1000K. Yep. So very universal, puts him at 12, keeps it so that way, A, he can suspend it to a body, or excuse me, swing it to a body, unsuspend with the Garurumon's effect, attack something else, or attack securities. Just that difference between 11 and 12 is huge.
Yep.
What's bigger than 12?
There's a lot of numbers bigger than 12.
A lot of numbers bigger than 12. Let's start with 13.
Okay, we're going one more.
We're going at least one more at the moment. So I am, in fact, playing starter deck 8 Gabumon as a 4 of. Now, the whole all turns, while you have 8 or more cards in hand, this gets plus 1K. So it really benefits the Metal Garurumon X when he's a blocker to being able to... This deck gets 8 cards in hand super quick. Yeah. A lot of draw, a lot of searches, taking full advantage of the whole Metal Garurumon engine, et cetera, et cetera. So
blue deck doing blue things.
Yeah, so it's very easy to give all of a sudden him a 13K, right? Or whatever's above this, an additional 1K, right? So we're even talking about 6K level 4s. With these two, they become 8Ks. So, you know, a lot of DP. It's almost playing like a red deck as far as that goes.
Yeah.
To help get cards in hand, to help grab the pieces that we need, this is kind of where I go back to more that traditional, you know, Metal Garurumon style deck, right? I might be playing more level 3s than they are playing. I'm still not playing a lot for my standards, right? But we're playing 4 of the BT5 Gabu Search. Just a great on-play, grab pieces that you need quickly into hand. And it is an X-Antibody deck, and it perfectly complements Gabumon X-Antibody, right? So we have ways to increase his DP from 11 all the way up to 12, 13. We have ways to search to get those pieces into hand and to get that 8 cards to be able to trigger that, right? So tons of good strength there. Let's talk about level 4s of the deck. So we are playing a level 4 that people might not even know is out there. Yeah. If you've relatively new to the game, or if, you know, you're just... If you've been playing Melga X, you don't use this one, right? Like, and I'm not going to sit here and say that this is better than the tournament-winning Melga X decks, right? That's not what this is. This is an alternative way to play a Garurumon tribal that has, good strength, good removal built in with the Digimon itself, a lot of wide boards, more my kind of play style of Melga, right? So this is great on play, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Triggers out of sources, right? So a lot of times when you do play out Metal Garurumon, you play that out unsuspend, right? I've even had times where this unsuspends my Omnimon, right? I have 2 stacks. I have an Omnimon stack. I have a Metal Garurumon stack. I swung with the Omnimon first, activated the, we're talking about BT10 Omni, right? Where I got to activate the ability, trash a security, while I play that and trash it again, right? Yeah. So lots and lots of good versatility built in the deck. I am playing a 3 of, as far as this Garurumon goes, BT5 Garurumon here. BT5 Garurumon is just great when you really need a turbo, when you're just trying to, just pay 1, draw a card real quick. Does also have an all turns DP boost as well. Now we're talking 14K.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen a lot with this, right? Especially when we play like a card like Chimeramon and we're tucking bodies underneath. We can tuck that if needed. Tons of good versatility. I'm a big fan of this lineup. And to complement the whole X antibody line, just like you would expect, probably, I am playing for Garurumon X Antibodies. Garurumon X Antibody just really caps, the deck. And this is what I think all of a sudden that takes this to the next level, right? Because this goes back to BT1 days, 1.0. If you guys have played this particular Metal Garurumon, you guys know that you'll swing with this. You'll play the BT1 Garurumon, you'll unsuspend this, and then you usually swing again and usually play level 3. Right? Well, what's better than level 3? Level 4. So being able to play, unsuspend, and then all of a sudden being able to bring out the Garurumon X Antibody to then be able to Chimera and build a whole nether stack
for free.
Tons and tons of strength and versatility. So that's kind of the whole point of the deck, guys. But now let's talk about level 5s. And this is where, like, for me, this was all easy, right? This is like, obviously, I want 4 of this. Obviously, I want 4 of that. Obviously, I want 4 of that. Like, and then the DP.
Yeah.
This was all pretty easy for me to go as far as, like building this, right? This is where I think the deck gets hard, and I think I had to figure out a fine balance in my level 5s. So my first level 5 is Garurumon Sagittarius mode.
I love that card.
This is the promo one. So he does Digivolve 0 on a Garurumon, but we are not playing any other base Garurumon as a level 5. There are tons of great choices. Even the EX1, we're just being able to draw cards to really help accelerate combo pieces into hands, not a bad idea. But this kind of more takes strength from what are the best Melga X decks doing right now, right? They're running that. He does have, when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, we do play plenty of Tamers, where I can return 2 level 3s back to the owner's hand. So he does have built-in removal as well. And to complement, we are playing 3 Garurumon X Antibodies.
Yep.
For, Digivolve for 0, and also be able to send a 4 back to the opponent's hand as well, right? So there's just a whole bunch of strength here, right? Anyone who knows the Melga deck, right? You know that this unsuspends. You know that you get a tons of value out of this particular one, right? So I'm doing a 3, 3, and 3 split on my 5s.
I think that's smart.
So this is where the strength of the deck is, right? Like, I have Garurumon. He counts as Garurumon a name, so you can Digivolve for 0 into the X Antibody, right? Which will then trigger a Tamer that we like, as in Cool Boy, right? And then I also have the Chimeramon for my main purpose of the deck, in playing that BT1 Garurumon, spawning out a bunch of level 4s, going into a Chimera to either do a board wipe of -2k, or just being able to set up another Melga play, right? That's where my level 4s are, or excuse me, level 5s. And if you ultimately do decide that 9 is too many, because my ratios are a little wonky in this deck, right? Like, I know Melga X decks as a whole does play like little Digimon. So now when all of a sudden I'm adding in 12 level 3s, which might be high for that deck, right? Or 9 level 5s especially, right? Definitely mess around with it and experiment and see what you think. But let's get into the main boss. Metal Garurumon BT1. What a great artwork. I absolutely love this alternate art.
Yep.
Been one of my favorite alt arts. Like,
it was one of the best ones from the get-go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's just a fun deck. And to me, my two favorite decks, especially in 1.0, when we did have some purple, were the purple Metal Garurumon and even this Garurumon, because I just love that playstyle, being able to play bodies, you know, with alternative conditions and alternative ways to play them. But they both had that same weakness of having lower DP, being at 11. So this deck has worked very hard to fix that 11k, because not only can I get up to 14k, I have the inheritables here of Garurumon X and the Garurumon Sagittarius mode, where I can then trash 2 cards at the same level to be able to keep him battle protection. Obviously, if I'm spitting out 2 level 4s, I won't be able to trigger this one as much. So I'm, you know, doing this 3-3 split, so that way I have it when I need it. But tons of good moves that can be made. And to complement this,
Death X. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. 2 Death X's. No, I'm just kidding. So I am playing 2 of the Metal Garurumon X antibody.
Yeah.
You could argue a 3-3 split. You could, honestly, this is obviously like one of the best cards in the game. You know, I don't think anybody denies Metal Garurumon X is insanely strong. And if you find that you just like keep playing Metal Garurumon X, go back to that deck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, he is very strong. But, you know, I wouldn't mind having a third one in for just additional defense, whatever the case may be. But this deck is kind of more geared around the BT1 Metal Garurumon.
And you get plenty of draws.
You get plenty of draws.
You'll probably find
it.
one.
I very rarely do I not get this. I feel great about my ratios because I have so much draw, I have so much search, so many ways to get cards when I need it. So lots of good things for sure come up. But great card. For those of you who don't know it, I want to play in your locals if you don't know what this card does. When Digivolving, unsuspending comes a blocker, and then when Digivolving, once per turn, on your turn, if he has Metal Garurumon or X Antibody and Sources, right, you get to bounce a lowest level back to hand. Tons of good versatility here. Just an outstanding card. Very strong. I mean, it's a 12k, so now we're talking 15k with all of our DP buff, you know, situations. You know, and sometimes I just build stacks with this whole Metal Garurumon X Antibody, and then like I was talking about earlier in the video, after I've triggered this the first time, game 2, you know, or the turn after I've Digivolved into him, I can hard play this for 6 to bounce another body back to hand, right? So lots of good versatility for sure in the deck.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I did that a bunch at my locals, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like yes, I knew I could do that, but I never really thought it was going to happen. But it happened a lot more than I thought. So it's almost like, you know, playing a Kakaida's Breath, except I have a body on board.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a very fun way.
Yeah.
You know, so like maybe it might not be a bad idea if you have the room to play that Garurumon in conventional Metal Garurumon X Antibody decks, because you could trigger that ability again. But it's tough, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now let's talk about my level 7. I'm only playing 2 in this deck, and in my opinion, I'm just skipping straight away. I'm like a kid who doesn't want to eat dinner. We're going straight to dessert. We are playing BT10 X Antibody Omnimon.
I bought 2 of those alt arts tonight.
They're such a good card. So not only this, for those of you who are familiar with our channel, and you guys have seen the progression of my deck building, you guys have seen that I like almost didn't want to play this at the beginning of BT10.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know what? Let's not play Blitz Omni. Let's just go straight.
We all resisted it.
We all resisted it.
I don't know
absolutely.
why. But
it's such a good card.
Yeah.
Yes, the Digivolution cost is steep, but oh my goodness, the Digivolution effect is so powerful.
Not that steep if you have the option.
Yeah, so I am playing 3 of the options, so I'll just lay that on the line while we talk more about this Omnimon. So this particular Omnimon X Antibody, right, is just can be triggered when this swings after you've unsuspended. You can go ahead, tuck the X Antibody and swing if you just got no more bodies to play out, whatever the case may be. You get to choose those order of the when attacking effects, right? So there's just so many situations where I just found myself tucking X Antibody under one of these 2 and Digivolving into that, trashing that security, removing a threat on board. You know, and I'd never once found that I needed the Blitz Omni. I don't know if that's because I have Chimera, and you know, when Chimera can load up an additional Garurumon from trash, or it just gets all the things flowing, or you just, you know, Chimera for game almost after you play 2 bodies after you've done all that stuff right. I feel like I didn't need the Blitz Omni as much. It's definitely it's still a great card. A huge fan of Blitz Omnimon. Do not get me wrong. But
I mean, if you want to go a more budget version of the deck, I feel like this deck would be not as lethal as it is right now, but pretty close if you just sub those out for Blitz Omni.
Absolutely.
So it's a good substitute if you don't have that.
Yeah. So So 3X antibodies, great card in the deck. This is actually my only option in the deck. You know, like I'm not playing Icewall. I guess, you know, I'm just not a good blue player, so I don't play a lot of Icewall. I know Icewall is obviously a fantastic card. It's very strong. Has this, you know, I'm not playing Kikaitis Breath. I'm not playing Hammer Spark. I'm just going straight up X antibody. You could argue Blue Memory Boost. And in fact, I would almost put in Blue Memory Boost if Davis did not have a good on play.
Yeah.
The Davis is my first tamer in the deck. It's just a great memory setter. There's a lot of times where you do want to be at 3 when you want to digivolve into these, or when you've set this up and you're going into this metal Garurumon, right? Being in at 3 is really useful, and on play, being able to grab any card besides the Chimera, X Antibody, and, you know, non-Digimon, right?
But well, it's very good too. I mean, because if you're at 3, it allows you to play a Gabumon search, digivolve for free with the X Antibody search again.
Exactly.
And you're doing tons of
digging. Yep, getting the cards you need, figuring out what's in your deck. It's crazy how fast this deck just gets so many cards in hand and gets all the pieces that you need. And what really helps with that, 4 Cool Boys.
Or you maxed it out.
This is the first time ever I have put Cool Boy, I think, in a deck on the channel. Yep. So during the whole, you know, War Greymon deck, I was trying, had some people show me the strength of Cool Boy, you know, kind of get some more in-game practice and try it out myself. And I really wanted to build a deck where I tried it at 4 of and just commit to it, right? And it is very strong. Cool Boy is outstanding card, great card. If you wanted to play 3, you could very easily cut a third for a third of that. You could go to, you know, cut this down to 1 and play 2 Blitz Omnis with that 3rd Cool Boy, or that 4th Cool Boy, and just play 3 if you want. Definitely don't see that, you know, don't disagree with that, right? But I really like getting that Cool Boy. Again, it just adds cards to hand, gets this X Antibody into hand. I have tons of sources that can be picked up with that Cool Boy as well, right? So
it helps with the DP gain because you get to draw a ton of cards too.
Exactly. You know, being at 8 cards for the starter deck Gabumon, right, really helps. So this is the deck, guys. I cannot wait for you guys to try this. I cannot wait for you guys to try it and just have so much fun going back to BT1 days and just playing good old classic Metal Garurumon with, you know, obviously a very, very strong X Antibody counterpart to back it up. So,
and we'll do some gameplay videos with it for sure.
We're absolutely going to get some gameplay videos on the channel for you for sure. So please let us know what you think in the comments. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. We love hearing in the comments. So,
all right.
Thanks so much. Bye.
See you next time.